we'll get started here. Just relaxing into your seat. If you have a blanket or a pillow or a block or anything, sit up on that. Get nice and comfy. You can start breathing in and out. Just get nice and relaxed while we wait for a couple more people. Wiggle it out if you need to. Wiggle it out. Wiggle it out. I like to sit on the blanket because for when you're meditating and you're sitting here for longer than, I don't know, a couple minutes, your butt can get a little sore. So, and it also helps bring your hips up a little higher so you're sitting up a little taller. Relaxing them. Shoulder blades down the back body. I really like to sing along sometimes. I like to sing what I'm thinking. So if I bust into song ever, I'm not sorry. We're gonna start breathing deeply in through our nose and exhaling out your nose or your mouth, whichever feels good for you. I promise you it's gonna feel great. If you can do it through your nose, in and out your nose, it's a really cool sensation. It just makes the air go deep, straight into your brain. You little bugger. When you're deeply breathing, we're all probably sitting here thinking about everything that's going on in our lives and things that we need to get done and things that are stressing us out. And that's why we come here to meditate, right? And we've all heard, I'm sure we've all heard, inhale the bullshit. Wait, inhale. What do they say? I say it wrong every time because I think of it as the opposite. They say inhale the good stuff, exhale the bullshit or whatever. So we're doing that opposite today. I know it sounds like a little reversed to do it like that, but today we're going to breathe in all the negative and we're going to exhale out all the love. So when you're deeply breathing in, imagine if your heart, you can even put your hand on your heart if you want to. And just imagine that your heart is like glowing, okay? Imagine it's radiating love, right? Your heart is just a pure ball of love. Just close your eyes, breathing in deeply, imagine it. Big old ball of sun. It looks like the sun. It's so bright, you know, just so much love. So think of your heart as a filter. Okay, so when you're breathing in and you're taking in all of your stresses and your worries and all the cares and the not cares and the bullshit and the good shit and the bad shit, just breathe it all in. And when it goes in, it hits the heart and it filters through. So as soon as it hits the heart, it turns into love. So you're breathing it all in and you're accepting it and you're turning it into love. And when you exhale out, you're exhaling out love too. Okay? So breathe in. Take just the little worries at first and slowly breathe them in and exhale them out into love. And as we breathe deeply, filtering all this gunk into our lovely radiating heart, you exhale and your room begins to fill with love. Okay, so you can keep your eyes closed while you're doing this or open if you have a good imagination. But inhale all that stuff. Take it all in because it's not good. It's not bad. Negative energy is not bad. We need the negative and the positive. So there's always going to be good stuff and there's always going to be bad stuff. It's taking the bad stuff in, acknowledging it, and then letting it go. So exhaling the love. And as we deepen our breath, Continue that heart radiating, full of fire, fiery love. This is one of my favorite meditations to do because it really reminds me to just stop and think, like, we can only control our responses or reactions to life and its curveballs and roller coasters and all that. So coming back to the breath, breathing all that shit in and exhaling the bullshit out. Well, exhaling the love out, actually. You're inhaling the bullshit in, exhaling the love out. I'm getting cat kisses because she knows I'm filling the room with love. That's so great. Keeping with deep inhales and long exhales. In through your nose, leading down into the heart and exhaling love out. By now, you've probably taken in all your shit. So let's start taking in all your friends' shit too. Like, think about the last time you talked to your friend and what was bothering them, you know? Take that in, breathe all that negative energy coming from all sorts of different areas. Breathe it in. Fill it into the heart. That ball of love that is filtering out all the bad stuff, and exhale. I think it feels really good to do this because I feel like it's like kind of like a prayer. You know, meditation is sort of like prayer. I'm not gonna get all religious and whatnot on you, but I think that prayer is a good form of meditation, as meditation is a good form of prayer, and they're all just connected on coming back to the now and acknowledging love, right? I don't know. I'm a big old hippie chick, right? But now breathe in all your whole neighborhood's bullshit. Take it all in. And turn it into love and exhale it back out so everybody gets the love and everybody receives that love that we can give. We can give so much love. Oh, cat. You can probably feel your heart beating if you're still holding on to your chest. Wiggle your toes. Get the feeling in your toes. Feel how it feels to have toes. Tap out your knees. Wiggle your legs a little. You can walk with these. I mean, if you can't, then that's awesome too, and I love you, and we're all in this together. You can also do all of this in a chair, by the way. I do a chair series on Twitch, but we'll talk about that again later. Anyways, you're filled up your whole room with love by now, breathing in and out. Deeply through your nose. Long and slow through your mouth. We're going to take like 10 deep more breaths together before we start stretching and getting into our yoga. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Let's exhale through our mouth this time for the last 9. Inhale through your nose. Like you're breathing through a straw. Exhale. 8 more in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. 5 more. Inhale. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening your tailbone down. 2 more deep breaths in. You can separate your little butt cheeks if you need to, if it gives you a nice, better seat. Lengthening the tailbone down. Lengthen the shoulder blades down the back body. Deep breath in. Suck your low ribs in. So suck your tummy in on a good inhale in. And on an exhale, suck it in even more. So you're activating that core. Okay. This is a nice, good seated position with good posture. Shoulder blades down the back body. You can have your hands on your knees. Your pelvis is going to feel nice and neutral, nice and forward. So as if your tailbone's scooping a little down. Nice straight line. I always like to feel as if, okay, so this is my thing. If you feel as if somebody's pulling a hair, like pulling a string from your crown of your head, so it lifts your head up a little more and it kind of tucks your chin under. I know it might feel weird, you might look a little silly, but that's okay. It helps you elongate that spine just a little more. So you're sitting up nice and tall, right? I'm going to have you take your right ear over your right shoulder. I'm sorry if my camera is mirrored and you see it opposite, but we're doing right ear over right shoulder. Keeping that core activated, long straight spine that we just worked into. Take 3 deep breaths with your right ear over right shoulder, keeping those shoulder blades down the back body. Exhale, lower the chin so your head comes down, chin to chest. Then inhale, left ear over left shoulder. Inhale deep, 3 times on this side. And exhale, lower back down, chin to chest. Inhale, right ear over right shoulder. Going with the flow of your breath, slowly start doing that motion from left ear to left shoulder, back down and around right ear to right shoulder. And 3 more times. Exhale down, inhale back and around. Chin to chest, right ear over right shoulder. Exhale back to center. Nice and comfy. Now we're going to shrug our shoulders up to our ears. And loop the shoulder blades back, down and around. Inhaling, bring the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, back and around. Nice shoulder loops. And 5 deep breaths here. 4, 3, 2, and we're gonna reverse it. Yeah, so bring the shoulder blades back up and around. Just little shoulder circles in the opposite direction. Slowly with your breath. 3 more here. Inhaling up. Exhaling forward and around. Inhale up. Forward and around. And back to center. I'm going to wiggle my legs out because sometimes sitting for this long really gets my foot to fall asleep and I have to switch over to the other side. So if you need to do that, do it as well. I'm going to double up on my blanket because that also helps. And drink some water. All right, from here, sitting up nice and tall, keeping that nice long spine that we worked on. Lengthen that tailbone down. Press your left hand into the ground. Lift your right arm up overhead. Act as if somebody's pulling it up, 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 up. And then slowly lean it over to the left side, stretching out that right side body. Nice bend in that left elbow. You can dance it around a little, bringing it forward and backwards. Breathing deeply, focusing on your breath is like a really important part of yoga. And it really helps you get into poses easier, and it helps you notice what you're missing. Just keeps you connected with your body. Bring it back to center. Plant the right arm down. Lift the left arm up. Pull it up, 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 up. And bend it over to the right side. Keeping both sit bones on the ground. Keeping that core nice and activated. Tuck the low ribs in. And only bend as much as it feels good. Don't put any hurt into yourself. You know, if it hurts, ease out of it. Breathe a little and try to come back in. 2 more minutes here. 2 more breaths here, not minutes. And exhale back to center. Now, I'm going to have you bring your right leg out in front of you. And bring your left foot to the knee, or just in a figure 4 shape. You can have it at your thigh if it feels comfortable. Keeping that right foot nice and activated, nice and straight up. I'm going to have you turn your torso facing your right leg. And if you need to keep a bend in the right leg, you can, but just rein it over. Get a nice stretch. You can grab your foot if you want to, or you can grab your shin. Get a nice stretch. You'll feel it in your calves a little, in your hamstrings. Relax the head down. Relax the shoulders. Trying to keep that navel to the spine. So nice activation in your core will help you bend a little more too if you tuck those ribs in, like I've been saying. Okay, 3 more deep breaths here. You can have your knee bent as much as you need to here. Don't think that you have to be straight or my pose is what it needs to look like. Just find what feels good for you. Excuse me. And on that last breath, bring it back up to center and switch it to the other side. Inhaling big, face that torso to the left leg. Right foot comes into your thigh or knee. Just in a little figure 4. And rein it over. Nice forward fold on the left side. Three more breaths in. 2, 1. exhale brings it back up to center. Now bring both the legs together into your butterfly and wiggle it out a little bit. And if it feels good, you can come forward fold this way. Just have your hands on the mat. However close or far apart your legs need to be for you to be able to bend over if you want to into a forward fold. In your butterfly position, it's a nice hip opener. And whenever you're ready, come back up. Get off your blanket or towel if you're on it and come to a tabletop position. So knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulder, wrist underneath the shoulder. Nice. Plant the feet on the tops of the mat. Tops of the feet on the mat. We're going to do some cat-cows. So gripping in through your fingers, pressing in through all 10 knuckle mounds. Pressing up and away through your chest so your shoulder blades are going to round down. Nice puffing action. Inhale. Bring the belly button down to the ground. Extend that tailbone long up towards the sky. Look, gaze ahead. That's your cow pose. Inhale. Round through. So your spine is arched, tailbone lengthens down, and you're pressing away from the ground with your hands, pressing away through your arms. Nice cat spine. Now going with your breath, flow through that movement of bringing your butt arched up towards the sky, and then bring it back down, cat pose. Cat cow. Nice spinal flexion. Okay. Now, put your big toes together and spread your knees out wide. Come onto your left hand. Bring your right hand up towards the sky. And then thread it under the left hand, bringing your ear to the mat and your right shoulder to the mat. And a nice tent in your left. You're threading the needle. Take a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale brings you back up to tabletop in your little wide-legged tabletop. Now with the right side, grip through the right arm, lift the left arm up overhead, and exhale, twist it underneath, coming to shoulder, left shoulder on the ground, little twist. Exhale, bring you back up to center, and then lower your butt back down, walk your arms forward, relax into child's pose. If that's not comfortable for you, you can have your legs together too. It's kind of like a little fetal position with your arms out. But I like the wide-legged variation. You can roll your wrists out here. Breathing for a moment before we get into some sun salutations. All right, coming back up to tabletop. I'm going to have you tuck your toes under, grip through the fingers, lift up through the tailbone, lengthen the legs long. You're going to be in like upside down V shape, okay?
You can be on your tippy toes, or you can have your feet planted if it feels good. You can have your legs bent like this if it feels better. Every body is different, so don't think that your pose needs to look like my pose. Just keep that tailbone lengthened down, tuck that low ribs in. Your fingers want to be pointing forward. The eye of the elbow facing forward. Walk it out, and then walk it up to a little forward fold, right? Keep a nice bend in your knees. This is a good release of the back, the lower back. On an inhale, extend the legs, lifting halfway up. Hands on the shins or on the thighs. A nice little L shape here. Keeping that crown of the head long. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold again. On an inhale, roll it up. Lengthen the legs out, tuck the tailbone long, and roll up through each little vertebrae till you're standing. Palms face forward, ground in through all four corners of your feet, so the big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and your heels. Micro bend in the knees, lengthen the tailbone long, shoulder blades down the back body. Palms face forward. You can't see my head anymore. Oh no. That's okay. We're here. We're here for it. So, when you are standing hip width apart, palms face forward, lengthen that tailbone down, right? So you're standing in a nice straight line with a little micro bend in your knees. Gaze forward, tuck the chin a little bit. This is actually our anatomical positioning. So if you were to just lay a human skeleton down or whatever, normally this is the way that we are. This is the way that we would be. I learned that in anatomy class. This is your Tadasana. This is a mountain pose. Deep breaths in, keeping that low rib tucked in, core activation. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge the hips back and send it forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to plant the hands again, gripping in through the fingers. Step both legs back, little plank pose. If you can stay there, stay there. If you want to come down to your knees immediately, you can. Plant the tops of the feet on the mat. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. We're going to slowly, with control, lower down to your belly. And now your tops of your feet planted firm, press into your pelvis on the mat. So your tailbone's lengthening down. That's like my favorite thing, is lengthen that tailbone down. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your butt, right? Hands will be kind of by your ribs now, kind of by your shoulders, right? Like your high ribs. So slowly push up through your hands and your arms, lifting your chest up off the ground into a little cobra back bend. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, bring it back up to tabletop, and then tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So your hands will be like 3 to 4 feet apart here. Tailbone high up in the sky. I like to walk my dog out like most of the time, so you can bend through your knees and just start to feel it good. And slowly walk it back up to your halfway lift. Right? And then forward fold. Big inhale, tuck the tailbone down. Slowly rolling it back up to a standing position. I'm gonna drink a little more water because I have a dry throat all of a sudden this hour of the day. So this is our sun salutations that we're doing. They're good for morning if you want something light to stretch you out and give you a little bit of exercise and wake you up. But they're also good at night too if you follow it up with some breathing and stuff. Like we are going to do a little more stretching afterwards. So standing in your Tadasana, tall mountain pose. Feet firm into the ground. Feeling connected. Micro bend in the knees, lengthen the tailbone down, shoulder blades down the back body. Breathing deeply in, lifting the arms up overhead. And do a nice little stretch. Up, 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 up. And rain it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant the hands, grip through those fingers, stepping it back, plank pose, lower the knees, plant the tops of the feet on the ground, and slowly lower to your belly. Hands are by your rib cage, pressing up through your hands, pelvis, tops of feet, all grounded to the ground, lifting up your chest. Baby cobra. Exhale, lowering it down. And coming back into a tabletop. And tuck your toes. Bring your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Walk it back up to the top. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, ground down through your feet and slowly roll it up back to standing. We're going to do 2 more rounds of this. So inhaling, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, lower down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, spine extends, legs extend. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands firmly, grip through those fingers and step it back. Now get your own breath. Lower the knees, plant the tops of the feet, and slowly lower it down. On an inhale, pressing through your pelvis, tops of the feet, ground down onto the mat, pressing up and away from your chest. Cobra pose. Exhale, back down. And bring it back up to a tabletop or just straight to your downward facing dog. Walk it back up to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Ground down through your feet. Real good. Yeah. And slowly raise it back up. All the way standing. One more time, all right? Inhale. Arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step it back. Knees come down. Plant the tops of the feet on the mat. Gripping through the fingers, lowering it down to your belly. High cat. Grounding down through your pelvis, feet, hands. Press up and away with your chest. And exhale brings you back to
downward facing dog. Walk it out, walk it up, walk it back. I lost my headphone. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bring it back down, forward fold. Inhale, ground down, raise it back up to standing. And inhale, bring your arms all the way up, up, up overhead. Stretch it out nice and long. Exhale, forward fold one more time. And now from here, you're going to bring your hips down so your butt comes to the mat. And to a nice seat, bringing your legs out long in front of you. Keep that tailbone lengthened down, right? Palms come to the sides. Feet nice and activated. Tuck that low ribs in. Hands come out to the sides. Wrists right underneath the shoulders. If it feels good. Nice neutralizing staff position. Right? Cat, I need my book now. All right, now I'm going to have you come back down to your elbows, right? And then lengthen that tailbone down a lot so you can come to your back, laying down on the mat. Lay here for a second. Take 3 deep breaths in. Get comfy. Last breath in. And then bring your right knee to your chest. Getting a nice little stretch in your hips. Your right hip, you could bring it out to the side. You could bring it in. You can draw circles with your hip. Find what feels nice. All right, inhale in, big inhale in, brings your right leg over to the left side. You can bring your right arm out. Nice little twist here. Gaze towards that right arm. 2 good breaths here. Exhale back to center. Extend the right leg long. Bring the left leg in. Bring that tailbone down so your low back is flush with the mat. But it doesn't have to be, you know. Sometimes it's just not there, and it's okay. But if you can and it feels good and you want to, just move this leg around. Feel it in your hip. Feel the little stretch. One more deep breath here. And bring that left leg over to the right side, twisting through. You can have the left arm out long, gaze towards the left arm. Two deep breaths. Exhale, back to center. Bring in both legs in. Nice. Hug your legs. Hug your knees to your chest. Hug yourself. Now grab your toes. Lift the legs long or grab your shins, whatever feels good. Happy baby. So sit wild, right? Spread them legs. Mix it up, wiggle it out, find what feels good. Spin over to the right, and over to the left. Find some movement in your legs and in your hips and in your back. Or just relax if it feels good. Yes. This is my favorite part, so I'm going to have you start to rock forward if you can, if you want to. Otherwise, you can just come up to a seat. But if you want to rock and roll all the way up to a seat, rocking on your spine, rocking along it. Yeah, it feels good. But if you don't want to do that, you can just come up however you want to your seat, slowly and easily. I'm going to do one more little rock because it's fun, because I used to not be able to do that. I will tell you all a fun fact when we get back up to seated. Come back up to seated. You can come back on your blanket if you want to, or your block. And we'll do a little bit more breath work here. Breathing in deeply through your nose and exhaling. This time, I want you to exhale loud through your mouth, like make it big ol' sigh, right? Those deep inhales through your nose and exhales out loud sighs through your mouth is called lion's breath. Like you're a lion, like you're. So it's a good way to get your energy flowing, get stagnant stuff going, release negative jujus. We're going to sit here and breathe for a little bit longer and just acknowledge how we feel in our body. If we feel a little relaxed, or do we feel tense in some areas? Breathing into that area, trying to relax a little more. With each exhale, relaxing deeper and deeper. Acknowledging that you showed up for yourselves, you made it through, you were here for it. You took a little time to love yourself, and that's the most important part, because we all want world peace, right? Like, I feel like everybody wants love and light to be in the world, but we all need to remember that it starts from within. So treat yourself kindly, love yourself, and shower yourself with respect and happiness and kindness. And allow for the unhappy parts too, because it's just a part of life. But do remember, I hope you remember to breathe into that ball of love that we did in the beginning and exhale love out, so you can filter all the negative that comes your way if you choose to. Just with the power of breath, it really does go a long way. Anyways, thank you all for hanging out with me for 40-ish minutes of yoga and breathing and showing ourselves some love. I appreciate you. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it.